Hi guys, and welcome to Talk All Sport, the channel that covers popular sporting topics and events. Well, it's fight week, the much anticipated rematch between Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua. Right now, some are saying that this is an iconic fight in the modern day boxing era. And as some of you might know, we've had similar iconic fights in history, like the Rumble in the Jungle, the Thriller in Manila, and this one is actually being dubbed as the Clash on the Dunes. It's going to take place in Saudi Arabia in a city called Diriyah, where Andy Ruiz Jr. is going to take on AJ in front of 15,000 people in a purpose-built outdoor arena. It's also going to be broadcasted around the world. A lot of attention on this fight, purely and simply because of how the first fight went, where on June the 1st, Andy Ruiz Jr. shocked everyone. It wasn't just the fans, but also pundits, experts, people who follow boxing, current boxers, ex-boxers, champs, everyone who's not even related to boxing was in shock to hear that AJ had lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. Everybody had written him off. No one saw this coming. It was just a real shock for the boxing world to see what had just taken place. It's really interesting to see what's going to happen here. There can only be one of three outcomes here: either a repeat of the first fight where Andy Ruiz wins, or revenge for AJ. It's something that he's been talking about a lot, which we're going to go into very shortly, or a draw. But come on, let's be honest, a draw's not going to happen, given the way how both of these boxers fight. So what happened? Well, first time round, Anthony Joshua making his debut at Madison Square Garden. Really looking forward to it, just on the back of some really good victories. About to fight Jarrell Miller. Interesting kind of build up to that fight as well, where there was a bit of pushing and shoving. So kind of built up a bit more kind of excitement, because AJ's not been treated like that by his challengers before in the past. So it was a bit feisty, a bit spicy. And he's going to make his American debut. In the background, we've got Deontay Wilder. This is his land now, his territory. So Anthony Joshua's gone over there, and he's done all the rounds, the media, the talks, the interviews with radio stations, trying to promote himself quite a lot out there. Okay, Jarrell Miller fails drug test, out of the picture. In comes Andy Ruiz Jr. And when you look at Andy Ruiz Jr., to be fair, you wouldn't think, this guy's going to do any damage to, someone who looks like AJ. They're like chalk and cheese. But at the end of the day, he took the L. Andy Ruiz Jr. won. And to be fair, AJ in that round three, not going to go into too much detail because we all know what happened in round three when he knocked Andy Ruiz Jr. down. And this is one of the most interesting things here. Andy Ruiz Jr. was fine, took an uppercut and a hook, and he was down on the floor, but he looked fine. Didn't look like his eyes were glazed over, didn't look like he was struggling. Took a few seconds to regain his composure, got up, and then just caught Anthony Joshua with that hook, that left hook behind the ear, above the temple. And when you get hit with a punch like that, you're not recovering. It's over. I'm actually surprised that AJ continued for so many rounds after that. So it ended in the seventh. So 4 more rounds he went on, and he actually admitted that he didn't know where he was. My personal opinion, this time round, I think it's going to be a completely different story. Anthony Joshua is a professional heavyweight boxer who takes his work very seriously, and one of the most interesting things that I've been hearing that's coming out of his camp and what he's been saying is that he's gone back to his instincts. He's got rid of, the sports scientists, the nutritionists, the people that, calculate each calorie and each step and what does that mean in terms of your effectiveness in the ring. No, forget that. I'm going to get rid of that. He actually went to Africa after his defeat to get back in touch with himself. I guess the people that he can relate to from his ethnic background, just to, take him away from all of this and just make him maybe come back down to, to root level and where he's from and what it means to the people out there, just to, get a bit of energy and get that vibe to bring him back up. And I think the stark contrast here is that you've got Andy Ruiz Jr., who's won the heavyweight titles off AJ, and he's buying his mansions and cars, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You've got the money, you've earned it, you've struggled, absolutely no problem with that. So you've got one guy celebrating his life in that manner, but then you've got Anthony Joshua, sort of secluding himself away and just going under the radar, going to get in touch back with himself, just to get back what he's lost. I remember George Foreman saying that when he lost to Muhammad Ali, it wasn't just the heavyweight titles that he'd lost to him, but he also lost something as a man. And, I really think that statement is quite relevant here with Anthony Joshua, because he must have lost something as well. His credibility, the way he lost, because, come on, let's be honest. He didn't just lose. Andy Ruiz didn't just beat AJ. AJ got beaten up. He did get beaten up quite badly, and embarrassingly, the way he was going down, he was just shook. After that hook landed, it was all over. It just, even now, I remember I just could not believe what I was seeing. So this fight is really, really going to be exciting just because of what happened first time round, and it reminds me of the fight, the scenario between Lennox Lewis and Hasim Rahman, where Lennox Lewis, this fight took place in South Africa, and Lennox Lewis was just toying with Rahman, and then that overhand right landed right on Lennox Lewis's chin, and he went down. It was incredible the way he went down. He just didn't recover. He just didn't get up from that. It just wasn't going to happen. Then the rematch happened again in the United States. And again, Lennox Lewis was toying with him again, and then Lewis just landed this beautiful right hook, right on the chin, very similar to the punch he took actually. And Rahman was out cold, tried to get up and stumbled back down on the floor again. I just think Anthony Joshua has got to make a statement in this fight to bring himself back up to the levels that we were expecting him to get to, in terms of being able to go in to fight Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder and really bring that excitement back to the heavyweight division. Because let's be honest, without AJ, I know Deontay Wilder, he's electric. That one punch power he's got is incredible. No one else has got that. The only person that probably come close to that kind of power in the heavyweight division is probably AJ. So Wilder and AJ is the fight we all want to see, and I just can't wait for that to happen. We all really want it to happen, but to get there is one fight at a time. AJ's been saying that as well. He said today when he landed, what he said today when he was speaking to the media in Saudi Arabia, that he wants to make the old-time fighters proud, and that he's opened his boxing encyclopedia to go back to the basics and do what he knows how to do best, and not listen to anyone's advice, and not, make his mind be diluted. He had a sparring session today at the British Embassy in Saudi Arabia too. So he's, in good spirits, looking lively, but in his eyes you can see and feel the hunger, the desire for him to, win back what he lost on June the 1st in Madison Square Garden. Andy Ruiz Jr., to be honest, in the last sort of couple of months, some of the interviews he's been giving, he's been very confident about, doing again what he did first time round, in terms of he's got AJ's number, AJ's style suits him. It's going to be, the same thing again as what happened first time round. But today, when he faced the media, it was a completely different Andy Ruiz Jr. He was talking more about, the respect again, how much he respects AJ. AJ's a big guy. He's going to come with a game plan and he can do some damage. Completely opposite to what he's been saying over the last couple of months. And this again goes back to the first time round when Andy Ruiz Jr. was playing it down. AJ, I'm your fan. Can I hold the belts? I've got a lot of respect for you and all of this. And then when he came into the ring, completely different. And in that first fight, what you will notice is Andy Ruiz Jr. just was hogging the ring. He was right in the middle of that ring, dictating the space, cornering AJ off, not letting him spread around and, really get into his flow. That troubled Anthony Joshua. And I've never seen anyone do that to AJ before. It was incredible the way he was dictating and manufacturing some of the spaces that AJ's not used to. I think this time round, though, I just think that Anthony Joshua is too much of a good and better fighter technically, in terms of power, in terms of, well, speed could be debatable. I know Andy Ruiz Jr.'s got fast hand speed, but that's just hand speed. What about, on your feet? How quick is he on his feet? I didn't think he was that quick on his feet first time round. I think AJ wins on there, but this time I think it's going to be calculated. He would have had time to study Andy Ruiz Jr.'s fights, who, by the way, has got a fantastic record. I think it's 34 fights in total, 33 wins, 1 defeat to Joseph Parker on points, and 33 of those wins have come by 21 wins coming by way of knockout there. So it's going to be really, really, interesting to see how things have developed for both fighters and how they've worked now, over the last 6-7 months to face each other off again. And that is what's exciting the whole boxing world, as to how does Andy Ruiz stop Anthony Joshua taking what he thinks belongs to him, and how does AJ overcome the mental power and the psychological effect it would have had on him to be able to regain his heavyweight titles. I had a look. I know the weight is going to be a big talking point here. To be fair, without knowing too much around weight, when I did see that interview today with Andy Ruiz Jr., he actually looked bigger to me. So it's going to, he looked a lot bigger than he did first time around when they asked him, what's your weight looking like? And is the game plan to reduce the weight? And he just replied back saying, look, I'm just trying to get to the comfortable weight. And whatever that means, we'll find out in a few days as the build-up continues throughout this week. AJ, I think, does look a little bit leaner. Not too much. I don't think the weight was a problem first time round. Just went in naive, thought he took him down, and now I'm going in for the kill and just got clipped. And there's no recovering once you get clipped like that. So it's going to be really, really interesting. I'm going to keep you updated with whatever I come across in terms of my research and whatever I find, to keep you guys engaged with this exciting and thrilling fight. Being a Brit, obviously I want AJ to win. It's going to be good for our division. It helps a lot of other boxers come through as well. But, no one can be sure about what's going to happen. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm going to keep you posted. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and also hit the bell icon for notifications as I update and upload new content. See you soon.